Oh. Okay. Oh. There we go. That looks better. Hi there, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us here at the Whittier-Hill Church's July monthly ceremony. I'm so sorry. Normally, I know it's the third Sunday of the month, but I just got back from Hawaii, and I got back last Monday, and here I am in Whittier. But thank you so much for being accommodating. My parents truly appreciate it, and I truly appreciate it as well. Without any further ado, let's begin today's July monthly ceremony. Thank you. 祈祷 K-Day for solemn class. Please open your prayer books to page 2, the purification prayer. Purification prayer. Through the way of mediation, may our sincere apologies be acceptable to you, our divine parent. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, arrogance and ignorance of your divine favor. We apologize for all our shortcomings and irreverences from past generations. Guide us to amend our way of living, to reflect your divine will, the pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you. Amatsunori Takama no hara ni tamazumarimasu. カムロギカムロミのみこともちですねみおやかむいざなぎのみことつくしのゆがの立花のおどんのわわぎはらにみそぎあらいたまうときにあれませるあらいどのおかみたちもろもろのまがごと罪けがれを払いたまいきよねたまえこもすことのよしをあまつ神くにつ神やおよろずの神たち共に雨の淵駒の耳に立ててひこしめせとかしこみかしこみも申すPlease open your prayer books to page 2 for the mediation prayer. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Ikigami Kongpo Daiji sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Ikigami Kongpo Daijin Sama, Ikigami Kongpo Daijin Sama, Ikigami Kongpo Daijin Sama, Ikigami Kongpo Daijin Sama. Kami Prayer, page 3. Reverently we pray. The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth. Time flows without cease. Years pass without end. In heaven and earth is a life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is a truth that orders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise Tenchi Kane no Kami. Let us praise divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings, this is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes. Great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Kongpo Daiji, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast to faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing, began the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. Divine Parent's great wish was thus fulfilled. Kongpo Daijin accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day, he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth. And he knew not the coming of night. By night, he prayed for those who grieve, seeking salvation for all who suffer. and he knew not the dawning of day. For years passed and the world changed. He did not waver from his task, divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Tenchi Kakitsuke, the guiding principle for our daily life. Divine favor was thus renewed and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Ikigami Honko Daiji. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way. Through all the hardships of this world, through pain of body and soul, the way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Kami, without regard for day or night. Whether we are near or far, the way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us. We are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray. So we earnestly pray. Chido Keirei, please bow your heads in prayer. Kakemaku mo kashi, kakemaku mo kashikoki, Higami Honko Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Oyagami sama no onmimae ni, Honko Kyobi, Whittier-Hill Kyokaicho, Kyoshi Sensei no kawarite, Honko Kyo Kyoshi Kashigomi mo maosa, Kashigo karedo, Tenchi Kane no kamihashi, みとく天地に招く道渡らせたまい、この皆を生かし、ローズのこと整えせたまい、聞いても天地の間に住む人間を神の愛しごと、めでい尽くしみたまいてあるわ、どうも賢きことの極みにな。This afternoon here at the Konko Church of Whittier-Hill, on behalf of your beloved children, we have joined in one heart to share our love, sincerity, and appreciation to you for the blessings, favors, guidance, and interventions that we receive daily. We thank you very much for the blessings that allow us to live, and the favors you have showered upon each of the Bujiko of Whittier-Hill Church and the New York, New Jersey gathering. We continue to receive your favor, interventions, and protections, especially in these recent times. We offer our hearts of appreciation for the daily goyo of our sixth spiritual patriarch, Kyoshi Honko-sama, and his wife, Nobuko Sensei, and their ohana. We pray that you will keep them healthy in order for them to continue with their goyo and for their children to grow up to be good, industrious, and resourceful individuals to Honko and society. We thank you for our parent church, Honko Church of Fukuzaki. We also offer our prayers of appreciation to the Reverend Hironori Ushio, the present head minister. We pray that his mother, Tokuko Sensei, wife, the present assistant head minister, and his family will continue to guide the Fukuzaki Church, its members, and its children churches into the future. We ask that you keep him healthy so that he may perform the most sacred of goyo, Toritsu. Thank you very much for Reverend Whittier-Hill, who began sharing Honko Daijin's teachings here in Whittier 28 years ago and founded the Whittier-Hill Church, as well as Reverend Kyoshi Higawa, who is the present head minister of the Whittier-Hill Church. Please watch over both of them As you are well aware, they're with their daughter Kazuko Fong and her ohana in New Jersey. As an ohana, we pray for healing and protection for our New Jersey ohana. We are also very grateful as Skylar Maniko Fong has only graduated from high school, but will be going to Boston University. But she has finally become an adult. Watch over her as she embarks on this new journey. We pray that she will keep her heart turned towards you and cling to you during these times of joy and sadness, victory and defeat, anger and frustration. Along with Kyoshi Sensei and Watiko Sensei, we ask you please guide, nurture, and protect the Fong family, as well as to help all of them to maintain a positive disposition. Help them to keep their hearts turned to Kami-sama in order to take care and love each other. Share Honko Daijin's teachings and help the Ujiko on the East Coast through 2022. We also ask you please continue favoring them. Through Honko Daijin, you taught us Ten to Chi no Aida ni sumu ningen wa minna Kami no Ujiko. Humans living between heaven and earth are all the beloved children of Kami. This teaching is truly important for all of us in light of what has been happening in the world. We ask you to help us not only keep unconditional love and compassion for all in our hearts, but also to reflect it in our daily lives. Help us to be embracing and loving, kind and generous to all regardless of race, sexual orientation, size, nationality, one's skin color, gender identity, age, occupation, social status, etc. I implore of you to please use each of us to make an impact, big or small, on our communities, cities, counties, and countries. Guide us in our hearts and our actions to be embracing, loving, kind, and generous. Where there is hatred, let us so love. As you are well aware, there is a war going on in Europe between Russia and the Ukraine. Civilians and soldiers are being senselessly killed. As one ohana, it is our prayer that we pray for this fighting and all wars to end. We pray that both sides will respect each other's sovereignty. Where there is injury, let us offer forgiveness. Where there is discord, let us build peace. We pray for the victims of tragedies, natural and human-made disasters to recuperate materially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Please continue to watch over all who are suffering from illness and disease. We pray for those suffering from mental and physical illnesses and disorders such as dementia, cancer, COVID-19, heart disease, etc. Your divine intervention and favor, grant these individuals a renewed life. Guide them to becoming useful individuals to society. We also pray for caretakers. We pray that you will allow them to get time off for themselves. Allow them a moment of sanity and serenity. And give them the additional strength to continue loving and caring for their loved ones. As we continue working to achieve our goals in our individual lives, whether it be for our occupation, studies, relationships, and personal growth, help us to remember to enjoy the blessings we are receiving each and every day. And we ask for your protection and guidance with every step we take. Please give us the strength to move forward. Help us to live a Kami-centered life as we're all allowed to live in the universe through your grace. Help us in developing our relationship with you through daily prayer and 22. Help us to be the light that gives hope to those in despair. And may our prayers be heard and answered for every soul who needs hope, laughter, and your favor. In alignment with our parent church, we pray that for our 30th anniversary in 2024, we are able to renew our faiths and our relationship with you. We pray that we will have a membership of 2,000 members and daily worship of 1,000 believers. We pray that for our 30th anniversary, 1,000 plus believers will be in attendance just from the Whittier-Hill Church alone. However, we know that it all begins with the individual faith of the believer and to enrich themselves before they can reach out and help others. 極み金光大臣様、天地金の神様。At this time, we offer prayers of appreciation for the Reverend Masako Cesarina Hikawa. As you're aware, she is still in Camellia Gardens Long-Term Care Center. She is making amazing progress, and the family is making preparations to bring her home. We are grateful for the favor that you are showering upon Masako Sensei. We continue to pray for her recovery through her faith and ours. We pray that the meguri associated with her situation will melt away. And let her faith and that of the Kikikawa family rise like the phoenix. Let Masako Sensei be the light needed to save her family, the community at Camellia Gardens, and others. We sincerely pray that her recovery will be the impetus for many of us to revive our hearts, our faith, and our relationship with you. We also come together and pray for the Reverend Alfred Tsuki, head minister of the Los Angeles Church. At present, he is in a care home in a weakened condition. Please, Kami-sama, give him the fortitude, drive, and love to come back stronger and feistier than ever. Allow the meguri associated with his situation melt away and have his faith and that of his family be reborn as the phoenix is reborn. As I bring this prayer to a close, it is our prayer that we can end this year, this month, safely in peace and harmony, love and joy. We pray that the blessings and favor of today's service is granted and received by all here today and those who could not be with us. Ne ke aloha pumehana, mahalo anuie, our beloved Ikiami Kongko Daijin, Tenchi Kanema. Now, please raise your heads. Ichido tomoni haire for sincere thought, along with the head officiant. At this time, I will offer this tamakushi on behalf of Mariko Fan, who is 18. I can't believe she's 18. And she has also graduated from high school as well. On her behalf, I will offer tamakushi. Please open your prayer books to page 6, the recitation of the Tenchi Kakitsuke. Kirami Kongko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Isshin ni Negae Kage wa waga kokoro ni ari 今月今日で頼め。Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within. Hearts grateful and caring, harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. This very day, pray. Adoration prayer. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward earth rich and deep. Living amid such gifts of Kami's great giving, how happy and grateful we are. The mediation of Ikigami Bonko Daiji does not stop for a single day. The protection of the Divine Parent embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit through all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous, beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, praise the virtues of Kami. We honor the power of Kami. Chido Haide for sincere claps. Chido Haide for sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Please bow your heads in prayer. Wamma kummo kashikoki, no Whittier-Hill Kyokai no Goreiden ni Itsuki Matsuru Goreijin Samani. Starting with the Kandori family, Konko family, Ushio family, and Nakabayashi family, including the late Reverend Akinobu Konko. I respectfully call upon the following families to join us today. 金光大臣様のご両親 birth parents of 金光大臣ご祖父様 father 十平勘取りご母堂様 mother 下勘取り adopted parents of 金光大臣明治郎川手岩川手川手 family 西本 family 田沢 family 川上 family 秀島 family 大坪 family 新山 family 後藤 family 武田 family 立野 family 露木 family 渦野 family 湯川 family 井川 family 木川 family 佐伯 family 松本 family 田中 family O'Farrell family Ivy family Sanchez family Landeros family Whaley family Fong family Ping family Oda family Lim family Ayabe family Brown family Klaus family Fujimoto family Furuya family Hayashi family Kobayashi family Matsui family Miyagawa family Moriwaki family Harakawa family Kitaka family Nakayama family Nishi family Omura family Tagami family Taniguchi family Nappa family Umemoto family Urata family Yamamoto family Yamauchi family Yasutake family. Thank you all for watching, guiding, and protecting us in our daily lives. At this time, we honor those who have passed away in the month of July. Reverend Denzo Nishimura, Reverend Shinsei Konko, Reverend Yoshizo Yasuda, Dr. Choji Takeuchi, Reverend Hiromichi Yuasa, 1 year. Masai Yamauchi, Harue Nakayama, Kyoshi Kawai, Ayano Okuhara, Haruyuki Terao, 20 years. Chizuko Ito, 20 years. Koyoko Abe, 20 years. Frank Yamada, 20 years. Umeo Ota, Kyoshi Kawai, Sueo Omura, Kayoko Tsukata, Tokuyae Hanayagi, Dan Masai, Yoshino Tanaka, Fusae Ayabe, 10 years. Kyoshi Kishimoto. Please receive the offerings placed before you as simple tokens of our appreciation, as well as our hearts and prayers of love, appreciation, and sincerity. Please continue to watch over, guide, and protect all of us. たまらすきかけて祈らないよ世のや、親の御親の神の支配よ。たまらすきかけて祈らないよ世のや、親の御親の神の支配よ。Now, please raise your heads. Chido Tomoni Haide, 4 sincere claps along with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 14, the ancestral prayer. Dear Mikama spirits, everlasting and integral part of divine parent of the universe, we pray that the Mikama of our ancestors and family, as well as the Mikama of all people, are at eternal peace and happiness. You who have gone before us, we give thanks wholeheartedly for paving the way through hardships and self-sacrifice in order that we, who are here today, can receive all the benefits of your endeavors. To you, our ancestral spirits, we gratefully acknowledge the protection and guidance which you have bestowed upon us. We pray that you continue to protect and guide us throughout our daily lives. We pray that we will realize and develop your divine virtue this and every day. Shiro Haire, 4 sincere claps. Good afternoon, everybody. Aloha. Thank you very much for joining us today here at the Whittier-Rose Hills Church's monthly ceremony. Today, I wanted to talk about something that has really been on my mind for quite a long time, especially since I went home and I've really been thinking about this. One day, I was asked, Miko asked me, hey, could you have a conversation with Uzunoe Sensei? I said, yeah, I'll have a conversation with him. And I gone to Gardena Church, and I was at the Kekkan, and I was talking with Uzunoe Sensei, and we were talking about this church, and we were also talking about San Diego Church, and out of the blue, he stops, and he goes, oh my gosh, Todd Sensei, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's so insensitive of me. I'm like, well, what? What did you say? He goes, we're talking about church. We're talking about a church, churches. And I'm not sure, I've yet to find the best phrase for this in English, but then he said, we're just talking about churches, and then he said, So in English, he said, in regards to you, a church is such an extravagant item, such an extravagant thing. And I remember that those words pierced my heart, that I got very emotional over those words. And I get emotional over those words from time to time because, and it makes, at the time, I'm not sure why I got emotional. And I've been thinking about it more and more and more. Those words help to change my perspective, or actually help, not just change, but it helped me to just embolden me. It helped to strengthen what I always felt, especially at the San Diego Church. For those of you who may not know the story, long story short, many years ago, over 15 years ago, there was an associate minister at that church who, through a lot of illegal activities, sold the church, closed the church, and then dug out to the south of America. So wham bam, goodbye ma'am. That's exact. She was a ma'am too. So she just wham bam, goodbye ma'am. And it left, her deceit and her heart really caused a lot of pain amongst, even most devout of believers at the San Diego Church. However, through the goodness and aloha of the Spees Ohana, especially Mr. and Mrs. Spees, and both of them who have departed, they opened this one room and dedicated that room to the church. And I've always had this belief that room is the church. That room is Kami-sama's. And when Uzume Sensei said, 教会は贅沢なものですね. A church is such an extravagant item. You know, he's right. Let me see if I can help you to understand. And let me show it from two perspectives. One, the minister's perspective, and the other is the perspective of a believer. You know, as a minister, you know, I went back home this past year, 3 weeks ago, and I took my dad to church, and we were going to church every Sunday. And I remember, you know, I was praying, and I stopped praying. And I looked at the church. And if you've ever been to the Honolulu church, it's a 2-story tall, beautiful, beautiful building that looks like the Grand Worship Hall. Looks like the Grand Worship Hall at headquarters. And I started looking at that, and I teared up. And I thought, 教会は贅沢なものですね. You know, Reverend Kodama started in a borrowed room on the second floor of an apartment, well, like a 2-story house kind of deal. He started with something so tiny. And the virtue needed, the faith needed to grow a church that before World War II had close to 5,000-6,000 members. And this is a factual thing. As I saw the numbers myself when I lived at headquarters. You know, I looked and I said, those altar doors were not built by what we call miyadaikusan, or construction workers whose specialty is in building Shinto or Buddhist shrines. Those doors were built by lay believers who used everything and their hearts to build those altars. I looked at the floor, and to know that over $100,000 was sunk into the foundation of that church because the church was wasn't on no stable of land, and so they had to excavate water, and then they poured in over $100,000 worth of concrete. The type of virtue necessary is so important. And it makes sense why the believers of the Honolulu church are so prideful of their church. That they don't have a problem doing goyo, knowing that they have this. Well, let me take that back. Let me take the knowing part. Let me take that back. But they're just grateful for what they have. Truly are. When I think about here at the Whittier-Hill Church, I remember when we started. So some of you can't see, but if I point in this direction on here, there's a cabinet, and in that cabinet used to be the Igawa family. Was the Igawa family altar, and that's how small this church was. That's the humble beginnings of the Whittier-Hill Church. And I remember Watiko Sensei had gone to Japan. And then Kiyoshi Sensei asked me to help him here and there. And this was a dining area. This area was a dining area. And then he started, and there was I think it was, Nico helped me out because I kind of remember very well. But there was like a metal fence, I think, that separated this area from this area. And I remember Kiyoshi Sensei started to take that off. I said, what is he doing? I was freaking out. You have no clue how much I was freaking out. I was freaking out, like, what is he doing? Oh my gosh, the Black people Sensei know what he's doing. Oh my gosh. And then he was building, like, I don't know what the hell he's building. I'm freaking out because I don't know what he's building. And then as I watched, like, does Black people Sensei know he's building this for an altar? And this is not the original altar that Kiyoshi Sensei had built. This is the second birthing of the Whittier-Hill Church's altar. Second one. But think about this. I want you to think about this. just to build the first Hiromai here. The second Hiromai here, where we had Niyama Sensei's tatami mats here. And for those of you who do not know Niyama Sensei, she was a minister, and I've never met Niyama Sensei, and I know people like Miko and Kyoshi and Kaz, and maybe Susan, you all know who Niyama Sensei was. We had her mat, we had her tatami mats right here. We performed services on them right here. And then I remember this hiatus when I couldn't come up because I was working my dissertation, and when I came, I'm like, what happened to this church? Where's the tatami mats? The tatami mats are missing. But let me take you even further back. Well, before I do that, the prayers. Wakiko Sensei used to pray here 3 times a day, well, at least. 4 a.m. in the morning, 6, and then at night. 3 times a day. I don't know if you can do a 4 a.m. prayer. Go, oh, Lord, I couldn't. Bless her, Wakiko Sensei's heart, that she did that 4 a.m. prayer. But the virtue needed to build these altars, the prayers. And Wakiko Sensei and Kyoshi Sensei did not depend on anyone else but Kami-sama. But now, let me take you one step back. One more step back. This home is not even the original Igawa family home. Mariko, Michio, Richard, Edward, Catherine, Avalon, Dennis, they don't know what the original home was. I don't know if they've ever taken time to look at old pictures to know that the original home was even smaller. The first home that Wakiko Sensei and Kyoshi Sensei had, so much smaller than this. And from that small home, they went to another home, then to another home, until they got this. Through virtue, prayer, this is such an extravagant place. Personally, as a minister, when I look at the San Diego church, I am so grateful for what we have. The fact that that last associate minister didn't throw everything away. That we still have the hasokus and some of the sambos, which is these. This is the sample right here. That we still have them. I am so grateful. And I treat that Hiromai as Kami-sama's home. I remember one day I came to church, and I try to go to church on a weekday, once a week. I remember coming, and it was filled with stuffed animals, all on the Kami-sama, just filled. And I broke down and I cried. I broke down and I cried, and I apologized to Kami-sama. I apologized to Kami-sama. I said, I'm sorry, and I apologize on behalf of this person. I'm so sorry. Please forgive her. Please forgive me. Whenever I see bird poop on top of the altar, I literally will begin to cry, and I apologize profusely to Kami-sama. I apologize profusely to Kami-sama. It kills me when people do not treat the Hiromai as a Hiromai. Wakiko Sensei has always taught me when I first moved here, Kami-sama wa okibasho de wa nai. Kami-sama is not a place to just store things. You don't store things here. So when Wakiko Sensei was the head minister, daily the altars were very simple. You didn't see a lot of offerings or anything. It was probably just you see was just these 4 items. These 4 items that you saw. Just these 4 items. That's it. It was very, very simple. Because she said, 神様は置き場所ではない。And so I always kept that in my heart. 神様は置き場所ではない。And if we want the next step, if we want further glory, if we want further bohire, if we want our church to continue to grow, we as a community, as an ohana, have to treat this space as the church. And that is something that I truly believe in at the San Diego Church. Until my members begin to treat that space as the church, not just on Sundays, not when we just gather, but always 24 hours, 7 days a week. Kami-sama is not going to give us a new. A wonderful example is the Gardena Church. Just look at the Gardena Church. It started from a humble house. And then it grew to what it is today. Because the believers had so much pride, so much love, and they believe that that space is Kami-sama's. That is not theirs, it is Kami-sama's. Every church has an ability. I don't care if you're Christian, Buddhist, Tenrikyo, Seicho no Ie, Kongokyo, we all have that as long as we believe. As we believe that this space is sacred. Now that's from a minister's perspective. From a believer's perspective. You know, as from a believer's perspective, when I was at Honolulu Church, I looked at the Kekai and there Reverend Koichi Honko was. And I remembered how every single day I was at church doing Tonitsugi, receiving Tonitsugi. I miss that so much. Being the head minister now of a church, I'm the one taking in all the Tonitsugi. And my only output is my parent church, and it takes me time to write my otodoke or my Tonitsugi in Japanese to send off to Japan. And I'm so grateful that my parent minister prays for me. But it takes time. It's not instantaneous. For so many years, I took advantage of this okenkai. You know, the Whittier at San Diego, we don't have an okenkai. There's no space for an okenkai. I am the okenkai. Yet here at the Whittier Church, there is no okenkai. And you know, it's so amazing. Avalon goes to this okenkai every single night. Avalon continues her grandmother's prayer, Wakiko Sensei's prayer, every single night. I'm so grateful. From a believer's perspective, I miss going to church and praying at this po'ohonua, or sanctuary of faith, this sanctuary of protection, this sanctuary that makes me feel safe. I miss that. Especially since I don't live near church, that is not accessible. I wish all my members had that accessibility to church. But from a believer's perspective, I miss that. You know, when we think about Kyoso-sama, or the founder, it's pretty amazing. He started off with a thatched house. And things start to grow from there. His faith, his virtue start to spread. He starts to share these teachings. People believe that was a sacred spot. That is why we have the word Boreichi. Bo is an honorific term. Rei can mean sacred. Chi means land. The sacred land of Konkokyo headquarters. 教会は贅沢なものですね。From a believer's perspective, this okekai is, it's so invaluable. I wish I had one, place to go to every single day to say thank you, to offer, give my heart, give my struggles to, but I don't have one. So why am I sharing this with you today? Because it's been on my mind for so many months. And I want you as believers, want you as members to really think about this. We take advantage of church. Some of you are there like, no, I don't. I don't take advantage of church. I don't take it. Yes, you do take advantage of church. You take advantage of the fact that church will always be there. We take advantage of the fact that the church will always be there. Sensei will always be sitting at the okekai. And how many times do we ask, Sensei, how are you? Sensei, are you okay? Hey, Sensei, can I get you something? I think that's why when I go to Gardena Church for anything, I always ask Miko, hey, Miko, ask your dad what he wants. Let me get your dad what he wants. I'm so grateful to have a mediator at the okekai. I'm so grateful. We take advantage of our ministers. We do. When doing in my dissertation research, one of the things I found is that, and I was kind of shocked to hear, for Christian ministers, many of them quit quickly within the first 3 years of their ministry. Why? Because their job descriptions did not fit the reality of what believers had for them. The believers took advantage and continue to take advantage, saying this is your job when it does not fit the job description. And yet these ministers kept doing and doing and doing, and these members kept taking advantage. And this is where I'm asking you to rethink your relationship with church. 教会は贅沢なものですね. Such an extravagant item. And yet it's here. It's for us. It's for you. Don't take advantage of it. Well, wait, hold up. Take advantage of it, but be grateful. Find it in your heart to do goyo at church. Find it in your heart to come to church as often as you can. To pray in front of these beautiful altars or whatever altars you want to pray in front of. To seek mediation. Even if Sensei may not be there, at least okekai is there. And as what Sensei always says, even if a minister does not sit here, Ikigami Konko Daijin-sama sits right there. So there's no excuse not to seek mediation. A minister may not be sitting here, but Ikigami Konko Daijin-sama sits right there in place of that minister. I encourage all of you, please take advantage of your church with gratitude in your heart. Take advantage of your minister with love and gratitude as they take on your worries, they take on your joys, they take on your struggles with you. And they work with you through those times. Do not hesitate. 教会は贅沢なものですね. Church is a very extravagant place. Take advantage of it with love, joy, and sincerity. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to share that message with all of you because it's something that's been in my heart and has been a part of my heart for quite a while. Finally, today, I wanted to share that next month we will be having the service on the second Sunday, which is Sunday the 14th. However, the time is going to change to the morning because there's a community event that I've been asked to help participate in. And hopefully, if we can get some people to come and help with some goyo, I'd greatly appreciate it. But and I think will start at 10 o'clock. I'm not quite sure what time the community event will begin, and I still need to get clarification on that. But we'll start at 10 o'clock. I'll try to send out an email very early to let you know the exact time. But I do hope you'll join us next month. And then please note that September will be the Mitama Matsuri, where I call out all the names of those who passed away here at the Whittier-Hill. All those who passed away. So if there is a loved one or someone that you care about that you would like to be honored here at the Whittier-Hill Church's altar, please, 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 please do not hesitate to contact me or send an email to the church's email address, kcwrh8 number 8 at gmail.com. Please send me their names when they passed away, their birth dates and when they passed away, so I can add them into the Mitama, the book of with all the names of the Mitama in there. So please send that information out. There's a lot in there, but please, I hope that you will be able to attend it. I hope that people will be able to attend that service as well safely, because it is your ancestors. So with that, thank you all very much for attending. I look forward to seeing you all next month. Again, the 14th, it'll be the 14th. And also, please, if you do have the time, there is the KCNA conference, so please join the conference. I think that would be so wonderful if you could do that. Just look online. It should be on the KCNA website. If you have not received information, what I can do is I can try to send it out to you. Just let me know. Somehow I can send that. It's all on Zoom. It's all on Zoom. And with that, thank you very much again for attending. I look forward to seeing you all next month. Please take care. I know that numbers are going up, so please, if you feel comfortable, please wear your masks, and we'll see you next month. Ahui ho, malamapono. Woo! Thank you, Miko. I don't know how to wait now. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Bye.